Alright, welcome to the finals best of 5 of For the Win number 28. I am Sybert, joined here by GBHMichael and the yellow allies in the bottom left side. From teammates, this is Vindies.
Yes, and on the right of the map, we have also from teammates. So it's a mates versus mates game. Mates WalftheWolf, as you red allies at the top right. Both players, unsurprisingly on this map, starting for 2 racks.
Man, WalftheWolf I'm not surprised by. Vindies, I was kind of hoping he would bust out that like really dumb build he did against Latex on this map, where he went like fast aircraft carriers. Of course that was an AVE, but I was kind of hoping to see it even now. That would have just been really fun.
Yeah, when it comes to allies mirrors on this map, generally the way they start is they spam peacekeepers to the middle. They take over the same bit, they take over one building, and then once they've got that, they focus down peacekeepers that are trying to get into on shield mode to actually take it down. But it doesn't seem like any of the extra peacekeepers have been taken down here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be a massive spam for a long time. I'm guessing it's going to be both refineries going to be placed down and move straight to the expansion on possibly even low power. I'm not too sure. If they want to keep the peacekeeper production up and they definitely want to beat the middle, they're probably going to build a second power plant. But actually, Vindies does move, and both of them move on low power to the middle, to their expansions, to land both of them. So they're not keeping up the peacekeeper production as much as some people like to do, which is nice. It's nice to see a variation is differing from peacekeeper spam all game. But this actually Vindies has decided to move his MCV to the middle.
Yeah, Wolf is going to have the peacekeeper advantage because Vindies did indeed go for that oil derrick, but Vindies, since he is moving his MCV to the middle, he may be able to make something happen with some multi-gunner turrets. And Wolf, on the other hand, is he going to move his MCV in reaction? No, he's seen at least the MCV of Vindies, and he's keeping his MCV there. He's still building whatever it is that he's building, most likely a refinery for that third base, but... Alright, so Vindies is actually
trying to crush the peacekeepers before they come in. So he's actually still managed to take over the center of the map, which his building got destroyed first, which to me said that he was not going to control the center, but moved his MCV there. So he actually, WalftheWolf is trying to go for his refinery, while Vindies is going straight for the turret. So he's going to be able to potentially take this down faster. I would actually consider not placing this refinery, moving back, because this is going to be very difficult, especially since the peacekeepers are already here.
Yeah, he's trying to wall it off.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing Vindies is just going to get on top of the wall locations. Yeah, he's going to be blocking off so that Wolf can't actually build walls properly. And now Vindies has his multi-gunner turret down, popping down a peacekeeper into that multi-gunner turret. And he's streaming more and more infantry across the map. He may be looking to end the game pretty much right here, right now. The MCV is advancing on even further. There's the sell-off of that refinery, and Wolf is in a little bit of trouble here.
Something that I would like to see is Vindies building some proxy Rexes up on the front line so he can actually get his reinforcements a lot faster, because right now they have to rally all across the map. But it was a very nice move to move across the map, and it was very unexpected as well. So the refinery got placed down. I still don't agree with that, and the turret just killed it straight away.
Yeah.
But the peacekeeper spam out of Vindies is actually getting out of control now. There's an awful lot of peacekeepers on the map. But it does seem like WalftheWolf has realised this is just the way the allies mirrors have to be. And he's decided to peacekeeper spam it is.
Yeah, maybe if WalftheWolf can get around and strike down one of the power plants of his opponent, he'll be in a pretty good position. At the very least, he'll be forcing Vindies to rebuild that power plant a little bit closer to WalftheWolf. Or he'll be forcing one of those multi-gunner turrets to get sold off so that Vindies actually has enough power. Another thing to note is that Vindies actually did clear up the oil derrick of WalftheWolf, so he will have that slight advantage over WalftheWolf. And WalftheWolf, he's got this one random peacekeeper on the left side of the map. I don't know what he's got as planned there.
And another note, Vindies has built the refinery in the high ground location for WalftheWolf. So he's actually on 3 refineries and an oil derrick.
Wow.
And he's walled in that side as well. So having that garrison is not going to help WalftheWolf at all. If he takes it down, it's this is going to be a huge advantage. And all the engagement started in the center. A lot of the peacekeepers have gone down, but the shield microwaves up, and Vindies was actually focusing down a shielded peacekeeper from WalftheWolf, so he was doing an awful lot of nothing, to be honest. And WalftheWolf managed to take down a lot of peacekeepers, so peacekeeper advantage turns and goes to WalftheWolf, and he actually manages to catch a lot of peacekeepers out of position. Kind of forces an engagement. Actually, to be honest, the best thing to do.
This is actually going to be a nice move by WalftheWolf. Vindies did indeed go for that airfield, and it's currently pretty darn exposed. This is a lot of peacekeepers from WalftheWolf.
It's not good for Vindies. This actually might be what WalftheWolf needs to get back into this game.
Yeah, he's able to focus down that airfield. Yeah, this is actually...
the turret is down. Actually takes down quite a bit of these peacekeepers and forces them back, so I feel like the aggression is over. But the airfield has gone down. We've managed to take over the garrison with a few peacekeepers and take down that refinery, take down the airfield and the power plant. Now the refinery is exposed, and because he has the walls on the left of the refinery, he can sell them and do an awful lot of damage without the harvester actually coming out and being a threat.
Well, he would have to rebuild the walls a little bit there to actually get it so that the harvester can't come out. But yeah, you talked about Vindies potentially rebuilding those barracks on the other side of the map. He never did that. His reinforcements are so far away. The harvester now going to be coming out, but the micro from Wolf is pretty good. Avoids the harvester completely, except for one. Well, never mind. He avoided it for quite a while.
On the center of the map, Vindies, WalftheWolf actually managed to take down one of those as well. So Vindies is probably on low power right now. Yes, he is. His turret, as you can see, on WalftheWolf's high ground is actually low power. And Wolf is actually up to 3 refineries, moving to his 4th right now. So he's turned this around and actually got the lead out of this. But Vindies is moving in with quite a few peacekeepers. Also at the same time, WalftheWolf moving around the back with quite a few peacekeepers of his own. So we'll need to see if Vindies is actually paying attention and see if he actually keeps the production on both the barracks, as one of them is actually offline right now. So that is a bit of a problem for him. As you saw last game, you need to keep production up. You need to spend your money, or you're just going to fall behind. Peacekeepers are in position for WalftheWolf right now. I'm thinking a cryo shot. That's what it is. Take down the walls, take down his power plant, and potentially a refinery as well. So this has to be a pretty major move of WalftheWolf right now.
Yeah, this is going to be really nice. Both of the power plants, or both of the barracks, do get sold off. WalftheWolf goes for the full surround, and that harvester is going to be forced to come on out to fight. Now, on the other side of the map, we do have the MCV for Vindies going to be moving forward, pushing back WalftheWolf. But WalftheWolf, he's on that 4 refinery economy with the left side expansion. He's going to be doing all right. Vindies is only on 2 plus the oil derrick, and on top of that, he just had to sell off both of his barracks. So no production.
Something that I would like to see, although I somehow think it's unlikely, is Vindies using this MCV to crush the walls. Actually, no, he has a peacekeeper anyway, so it's not needed. But something he can do is actually crush the walls with your MCV and then go in to attack with the peacekeepers. You can actually crush a collector with your MCV with the correct movement, but it does take very, very specific and precise movements. If you don't know exactly what to do, you're not going to be able to do it. So if you want, I'm sure there are tutorials on YouTube somewhere for how to crush collectors.
That's not exactly relevant right now, but we do have the refinery getting eliminated. And WalftheWolf might actually be able to clean up another one of Vindy's power plants in the middle of the map.
Yeah, WalftheWolf going back in for the harassment on the refinery, so he's actually going to potentially take down this refinery in the main base. It's currently 3 refineries versus 2, close to being 1. Will he actually save this refinery with these 5 peacekeepers coming in? He does save it for now, and does force these peacekeepers back with some nice sort of micro, but he is currently he's still only on 2 refineries. Cryocopter is in his base. No anti-air is there. This actually might be game over right now. There's no anti-air.
Vindies is just forced to drop down power plant after power plant. He does actually snipe down one of the refineries of his opponent, but WalftheWolf is going to be forced to deal with Vindies inside of his own main base at the same time, he does have that cryocopter that you mentioned a little bit earlier, which will be a very powerful force in locking down Vindies' main base. And Vindy's, I mean, things are looking very, very dangerous. He doesn't have an efficient way to get out onto the water to kill off that refinery, so WalftheWolf is actually safe in that respect.
I cannot see a way for Vindies to rebuild, and he's got to try and get some anti-air up, but he just won't have the money to rebuild. Let's have a look and see how much money he currently has right now. Oh, actually, scratch that. He's got $6,000.
Wow.
So actually, he should be fine in that regard, but he's actually a little bit slow on freezing this second collector. WalftheWolf is.
Yeah.
So he managed to get a tiny bit extra cash in, but shouldn't make too big of a difference. The base of WalftheWolf, currently 3 barracks. He's decided, let's go back into a peacekeeper spam. Why not? So,
yeah.
And actually, a lot of the peacekeepers for Vindies is moving up the ramp into a choke point for WalftheWolf, and he's actually doing an awful lot of splash damage on the right of the map. A lot of Vindies peacekeepers have gone down, but he realized this is a bad engagement. I've got to move away.
Vindies has now basically
out.
completely re-established himself into the main base of WalftheWolf. Now, you did mention that triple racks production, which is good, but of course, Vindies does have that airfield, so we're going to need to see Javelin troopers or something to deal with the aircraft of Vindies at some point. WalftheWolf completely cleaning house. Now, Vindies wisely has deployed a command hub out on the water and will be able to expand to that water expansion if he's got the cash. And also, he goes for pretty much the full scout off, so good on Vindies keeping an eye on his opponent with that Apollo.
And something that I would like to point out is that WalftheWolf doesn't have any Apollos.
Yeah.
There is potential for a cryocopter harassment in the water and maybe even on land, taking down both those refineries, because it's actually currently on 2 refineries apiece. They're actually on equal economies, which is quite surprising. 3 Apollos out for Vindies right now, which is a lot more than he needs, considering there's actually no air out right now.
There's the cryoblast out on the water. Fortunately for WalftheWolf, he does get the complete sell-off, and that
Massive
Vindicator is
in the middle of the map. Does put down a turret, but he gets forced back.
Yeah. Well, Vindies had that turret on queue for quite a while, just waiting for WalftheWolf to move in. Now, WalftheWolf, he's got a small contingency. This is actually drawing the entire army back for Vindies. This is all right because WalftheWolf doesn't actually have any Vindicators to come in and take down that multi-gunner turret. But as soon as he actually gets out some Vindicators, Vindies is going to have to be very careful about how he splits his army.
Yeah, with some proper micro, he could have ran straight in there when his peacekeepers were out of position and taken down that peacekeeper turret. It would have came, because if you run in a straight line, the peacekeeper turret is not going to do splash damage, so it's not going to be able to do anything versus all the peacekeepers. And it's currently still is a massive peacekeeper army right here. It's much bigger than Vindies. The only thing Vindies has going for him is the turret. And once a turret goes down, exactly now, there's going to be nothing that Vindies can do.
That cryoblast absolutely sealing the deal for WalftheWolf. He's going to be able to smash through this entire army, shattering it to bits. And with this many peacekeepers, can Vindies actually stop him?
Maybe with a classic Vindies spy, but I don't think there's anything else we can see coming out of the Vindies that could possibly save the day today.
If he gets some miracle crushes.
Crushes, I feel like crushes aren't going to work. He could really just run back all day, just keeping the MCV deployed.
That's why I said miracle crushes, man.
He's going to need a miracle. He's going to need a miracle of miracles. A miracle amount of miracles to win this game.
And on top of that, you see WalftheWolf, he just brings over all 4 of his Apollos. He's like, what are you going to do? Go up into the skies? I got more Apollos than you now.
And also, Wolf is 3 refineries. He's taking the high ground expansion near Vindy's old main base. So,
he's had that for a while.
Yeah, 3 refineries versus 2. 3 refineries versus 1.
Wolf's 3rd refinery.
Oh yes, he actually killed the C refinery, didn't he? 2 refineries versus 1.
But still, in this situation with this many peacekeepers, I mean, the standing army is quite a consideration for Vindies.
Yeah, and his final harvester might get frozen down here, and there's going to be nothing he can do. He might actually be able to save this with the javelin and the healing that he's getting from his airfield.
Oh,
a little bit of nice Michael at both players here, and he actually does save both of his Apollos. That's very nice play. Very nice play from Vindies there.
Yeah, he ran his Apollos away just at the absolute last moment. He's actually going to be redeploying a command hub out on the water. Again, he still has to deal with this Peacekeeper army from WalftheWolf, and at the same time, WalftheWolf, he's like, all right, what if I just move my MCV and turret push you? How about that? I'm guessing that's what WalftheWolf is going to be doing.
Yeah, it seems that's probably going to be his strategy of choice right now. But the thing is, it's strange to see Vindy's move out to the water with that prospector, because he does have the command hub at the bottom right of the map still.
Yeah.
That he hasn't built a refinery for, and that would be a little bit risky, but there's nothing scouted down that. As I say that, there's a Riptide going down to scout it. So actually, WalftheWolf is well prepared for that.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Vindies, no hidden expansion. Oh.
Let's say that he builds the refinery down there, and the Riptide does come down to shut it down.
He's gonna be so happy about that, WalftheWolf is. And he, of course, won't know, but if he actually clicks on that ore mine, he'll be like, oh, yeah, that's still got 29k in it. You just deployed this.
He might not know how long this has been down for. He might have thought, actually, wait a minute.
We actually have a big cryogeddon going off. Oh, Vindies, he's clearing out the standing army of WalftheWolf. Can he actually make something happen? He still has to deal with the massive advantage that WalftheWolf is at, of course, with the aircraft. And, I mean, eventually the MCV is probably going to throw down more multi-gunner turrets. But Vindies, can he make something happen?
It's going to be difficult, but he actually might. The thing is, he doesn't seem to have that much in his well, I call it main base right now, but the one at the left of the map. But he has a cryocopter, and he has a Riptide. So that will possibly be able to take down all these Peacekeepers. Okay, it's really going to come down to the micro. But with correct micro, he should be able to take down all these Peacekeepers. Let's see if he's able to do it. If he actually notices that he's got the cryocopter in there. He's not actually selecting it. I don't think he knows he's got it.
Okay, second Riptide comes out. WalftheWolf should still have this.
At the same time, WalftheWolf doing a cryoblast in Vindy's main base, taking down 2 power plants.
There we go. Yeah, okay, WalftheWolf should be sealing this up. We'll be getting the kill on that heroic Peacekeeper, and now he's got himself a nice elite Vindicator. Oh, poor Vindies. He tried to deploy a multi-gunner turret to harass that expansion, but he's low power.
I feel like this game, there's no way of Vindy's coming back.
No.
WalftheWolf is tier 2. He has 3 refineries make that. He has cryocopters, and and Vindy's only has 1 refinery and doesn't have any. All he has is Peacekeepers, and that's just not going to be enough versus Riptides, cryocopters, Apollos, and everything that WalftheWolf has. I feel like it's going to be game over for him right now.
Even the Vindicator gets eliminated. WalftheWolf played out the second part of this game really quite well. He's got 4 or 5 Riptides back in his kind of new main base in the north side of the map. So even if Vindy's is able to push in with some Peacekeepers, unless one of them is a spy, if somehow Vindy's got tier 2 and got out some spies, that would be absolutely crazy. But pretty sure that's not going to be happening.
And the Assault Destroyer is out to seal the deal. There's nothing in his base to defend this. His last remaining hope of getting any money this game is about to be destroyed.
Yep, the Assault Destroyer not even really going for the kill. Oh, I thought for a second he was going for the crush, but he will be going for the kill. Vindies drops the GG, and with an unusual game number 1. WalftheWolf.
Considering this,
all right.
Think about this, how this game started for a moment. It started with a turret push and turned into this.
Yeah, standard dual racks for Battle Base Beta into a kind of weird turret push.
Yeah.
And then, just so weird.
Not your standard game, but that's exactly what you want to see in the tournament finals, isn't it? You don't want to see what you see every day. You want to see a little bit of unique taste, a unique way of playing the game, and that is exactly what we saw. Vindy's going for a very unexpected strategy at the start.
And we're loading into game number 2 on the left side. The man who is down 0-1 in this best of 5 from teammates, it's Vindies.
And on the right of the map, he managed to win the last game on Battle-Based Beta, but will he manage to win again? It is the Red Allies player, Mate WalftheWolf.
There's the dual racks from both of our players. Man, they're loving this dual racks.
I wasn't expecting a dual racks on this map from both players. Sometimes, well, to be honest, there's an awful lot of strategies that you can do on a map like this. Allies versus allies. There's cryocopters. You can simply go for airplay. You can even get away with a mecha. You can even get away with a war factory on this map. There's all sorts of different strategies that you can do. But it just so happens that both of them go for the Peacekeeper spam.
Yep. And a couple of dogs going to be coming out for Vindies. I think WalftheWolf skipped his dogs, but Vindies, he's starting to get himself a nice wall setup, so he's going to be walling in both of his power plants. WalftheWolf, on the other hand, going to be leaving one of them exposed, and sometimes Vindies does this thing where he basically makes a really nice design with his walls, and he walls every one of his buildings in, so that they're a little bit more protected. I don't know if he's going to be doing that. Maybe he will.
It's always nice to see people actually do things themselves instead of just copying exactly what everyone else does. But the thing is, to point out this game, because they're both Mates members, have probably played themselves quite a bit. They've probably played each other quite a bit on this map, playing Allies Mirrors, so that might be why Wolf decided not to scout at the start of the map. He might know what Vindy's style is on this map. But Vindy's seemed to be losing quite a bit of Peacekeepers in the middle of the map, and because he'd gone for the dogs at the start, it did delay his Peacekeeper production that little bit, and that is kind of why WalftheWolf has got the lead that he does right now. He's still, both players still going for the Peacekeeper spams. Vindy's moving his MCV towards the center, and so is WalftheWolf.
Yep. Now, Vindies is a player who sometimes does like to go for that Riptide sort of play. In this game, he's not going to be doing it, at least not just yet. We'll have to see if maybe he eventually decides to go for it, but... And actually, yeah, the MCV placements are pretty similar as well, so... Not only are they going to be going for the same thing, but not one of them is going for a turret push like last time.
Yeah, only difference is that Vindy's was that little bit slower at moving his MCV, so he might be able to get his third refinery up that little bit later.
Ooh, and WalftheWolf may actually block it with a dog. Oh.
That's very annoying, that. But actually, Wolf does... I mean, Vindy's has actually gone for a second engineer. He's actually going to try and capture that old Derek at the top of the map, but there is a dog scouting around, so he's got to be careful about that.
Yeah, Vindy's does have to be pretty careful. That extra 500 credits can... I mean, in some cases, it can be the difference between winning and losing. Usually, it's not. There's the power plant, so Vindy still has time to kill off this dog of WalftheWolf, but
he is building a turret.
His third base.
I think he's going to try to kill the dog with the turret, which won't be a very good way to do this, but I think he will.
That would be pretty inefficient. I mean, he didn't place whatever he was building on his defense tab, so for now, he's not building any turrets. WalftheWolf, but yeah, WalftheWolf drops down the naval yard, so he could be going Dolphins to try to lock down that expansion as soon as it gets deployed. But oh, actually, Vindy's moving his MCV
and building a forward proxy racks as well. So he does know that if he can get, this is what the problem that he had last game. He didn't build the proxy racks, so he didn't have the production in the enemy's base. He had to rally those units all across the map, which took a long time. And the thing is, if he gets enough javelins in these center buildings, he can pretty much counter all of these Riptides, which is a very nice move. The garrisons on this map are...
This engineer's about to get murdered. Bye, engineer!
Oh, that is actually a very nice pickup for WalftheWolf. Very nice from scouting the map enough to actually notice that engineer.
Yeah, that's not the thing, is his dog was on the left side of the map over by that oil derrick, and then I guess he saw the engineer at some point, and he just ran the dog around the top side. Yeah. Got the engineer. Now, Vindy's is actually moving in here. He will be able to assault this MCV directly. He's doing quite a bit of damage, and with some nice stutter step, he will not die. Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult for WalftheWolf to win this with just Peacekeepers and the naval yard. There's one thing that he can do, which is build an assault destroyer. If he builds an
Go for the
assault destroyer,
crushes.
he can have the black hole armor and soak up all of the damage from peacekeepers, which would be if he gets a turret up, he might be able to stay alive for long enough to get it up. But it will be difficult until that stage, and especially since Vindy's does have an airfield in the center of the map, so any turret could just be bombed. It doesn't seem like he's going for the naval plate, going for the assault destroyer. He's instead just seems to be going for turrets and peacekeeper spawns.
Yeah. He's not doing anything currently. He does have an engineer inside of that Riptide, though, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. If he just goes for the oil derrick of Vindy's, then that's fine. But Vindy's drops down the airfield in the middle of the map, and his main base is completely walled in.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not walled in is that power plant.
But WalftheWolf does have Riptides, and he's sending one down, so I'm assuming that's full of javelins or something like that. Yeah,
There's an engineer inside of there as well.
It's actually full of peacekeepers.
Is it?
There's only peacekeepers in there, so yeah, he's going to go over and do a cryo shot on the walls and refinery next to Vindy's main base. So he's actually going to manage one, but not the other refinery. I'm surprised he didn't put a javelin there as well. Cryo shot does go off on the turret in the center of the map, so Vindy's will be able to move in. WalftheWolf hasn't noticed yet, so the turret will be placed down. He actually does get a nice position on his forward turret, but cryo shot does get. It just shuts that down.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Wolf just has the numbers right here. I did actually miss that the engineer for Wolf jumped inside of that Conyard.
Yeah.
It didn't actually go inside of the Riptide, so my bad.
Yeah, he's
but
quite a bit of damage from the garrison that's now being destroyed next to the water.
Yep,
but all of Vindy's army is now being absolutely decimated. There's going to be...
Yeah.
And he's just walking right past. WalftheWolf he doesn't really care about it. He's walking right past all these center garrisons, which is really the only chance that Vindy's has of actually killing this army. He's going to need a miracle.
Ooh, one Vindicator may end up going down. Yes, one does get eliminated. The other one is able to escape. But
running in with all those peacekeepers.
Oh. Vindy switches them all over to shield, so he will survive a little bit longer. He may even be able to get into this building, but nice blocking coming out from WalftheWolf, even going heroic on a couple of those units.
The thing with peacekeepers is, once units get close, they don't only do an awful lot of damage, they also make them recoil. They get forced back and just flip over in a classic Red Alert 3 overly exaggerated style. And
it's hilarious, though.
It is. Moving in with the javelins, moving in with the peacekeepers, there's going to be nothing to defend his main base. But actually, is he going to lose all these peacekeepers?
Wow.
Javelins? No, he's paying attention. He started at the last moment to pay attention.
Ooh.
So he will save 3.
Yeah, he loses 3 of those javelins, though.
And
Saves 3, loses 3.
What I was mentioning before, assault destroyers are now out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's how is Vindy possibly going to be able to take down this? One thing that he can do to take down Black Hole Armor is have javelins on the laser lock mode, force firing on the ground. That will be redirected into the assault destroyer's Black Hole Armor and actually attack it itself. So that will actually stop it from being used, and that's exactly what he's using. Force firing on the ground stops him running in with the Black Hole Armor, which is that's
nice what he's doing.
Yeah. It's a nice little trick. It's something that you don't see very often, but it's very, very, very useful.
Alright, so the Cryo Blast is going to be firing off. Vindy's actually had one of the sickest wall saves that I've ever seen in a Red Alert 3 game, but WalftheWolf is going to be able to break into these walls and take out that refinery eventually. At the very least, Vindy's is going to be forced to pull the Harvester off the line, and Vindy's goes for the Cryo Blast on the right side as well, and actually uses Vindicators to get the kill.
The thing is, Vindy's is currently only on 3 refineries. Actually managed to crush all of those peacekeepers bar 1. Wow. He does have both of the oil derricks though, so he's not that far behind. Actually, he is very far behind looking at the army of WalftheWolf right now.
Wolfie's got 3 actual refineries. Actually, well, I mean, 2 harvesting refineries. Soon to be 3.
Soon to be 3, but for the moment, it's currently only on 2 refineries. But he's not engaging. He might just be going for tier 3. I think. I'm not 100% sure what Wolf's going to do right now. Is he can't just run straight in because the advantage of having the garrisons is huge versus peacekeepers. You can't run it.
Yeah.
Neither player can just run in right now. I feel like
I guess
he could take the Athena cannons and take down the buildings.
Yeah, I feel like tier 3 would probably be the best way to go, just at the very least getting out Athena cannons, because of course the range is so nice. And well, actually, how did 2 of those javelin troopers die?
Maybe
Huh.
maybe force fired, maybe something. Maybe peacekeepers aren't quite affected by Blackwall armor. I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, I thought they
But-
were as well. Maybe they're not, or maybe it's some sort of weird like garrison
I'm pretty
bug.
sure. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure they are affected by Blackwall armor.
Oh, Vindy's tried to get or WalftheWolf tried to be sneaky with a dog, but he wasn't able to do it. Now Vindy's is going to be making the last stand. We'll have to see if the Alamo works out a little bit better for Vindy's than it did for
It is
the real
moving into
Alamo.
a very unfavorable position. The peacekeeper turret is out and
Yeah.
shooting everything down.
Oh,
2 garrisons have been taken down. That is really the only defense that Vindy's had. So right now, one of the assault destroyers is almost dead. He might benefit from moving back now and just regrouping, healing his units up.
I mean, really,
Because
tier 3 would be so
Yeah.
good right now.
Tier 3 would be the safe, easy way of doing this right now. But he has managed to take down... Actually, Cryocopter is out for
Yeah.
Vindy's.
How about that? Cryocopters, of course, can change things up quite a bit.
And there's currently no Apollos, nothing to defend his WalftheWolf's main base. They can actually get something now.
He actually sold off the naval yard as well, so he doesn't even have the ability to make hydrofoils and then try to pull the cryocopters over the water. But,
So-
wow, that assault destroyer goes down pretty quickly.
So this could actually be a big deal. Actually, that's also both of the health is very low. He's actually managed to take one down.
Yeah.
But the Peacekeeper spam is not big enough for Vindies right now, and I feel like this is just going to cough in his stack as soon as he
Yeah.
moves in. This is not going to have enough against his army. The MCV trying to get some crushes and do whatever he can to help this Peacekeeper army out, but he does actually manage to take down a lot of the Peacekeepers at the bottom. So he
Yeah, he's
managed to-
actually sectioning off parts of this army. The MCV did
Yeah.
force some of the units back into the cryoblast, but I don't think it's quite enough. The cryocopters out on the field aren't doing as much as they could, and the assault destroyer does go down, but
Yeah, managed to
WalftheWolf.
stay on the airfield as well, so no more airfield production can be made. But the thing is, he doesn't have an airfield. Wolf doesn't have an airfield. He doesn't have an airfield. He could, well, Vindies could currently move to the water, go in for some Vindicator harassment, and just try to build up. But he doesn't know this. He doesn't know that there's no naval yard. He doesn't know that there's no airfield.
So they're attacking us.
So it really depends
Yeah.
on if he just expects it.
yep, Vindy's is definitely in a bad situation. 2 games in a row. WalftheWolf has been able to just put himself in a commanding lead over Vindy's. And Vindy's, he's making the last hurrah, he's making the last stand, but for now, it's not working out super well. And WalftheWolf has been able to crush through the defenses, and maybe...
And an airfield has been made, so Apollos are in his
Oh.
production tab right now. It's
Never
going to
mind.
be Apollo is right out.
Yeah,
As
and he's
soon
going
as he
for the
sees this
scout and the
Apollo,
kill.
he's going to GG. I cannot see a reason for him to stay in right now.
Yeah. Should be able to clean up at least one of these cryocopters really easily. The second one will eventually go down, but you mentioned a couple of different ways that Vindy's could keep himself in this game, a couple of different ways that Vindy's could potentially go for the comeback, but with that airfield, WalftheWolf is in such a strong position, and on top of that, he's moving his Javelin Peacekeeper army across the map to finally kill off those last 2 refineries, which, I mean, to be fair, Vindy's did rebuild one of the refineries a little while ago.
Yeah,
He's
that's
got that
actually
going for
quite
him.
surprising. Quite surprising that he might have simply forgot to take down the prospector, or maybe
Yeah.
Vindy's just simply built an extra prospector, moved it across, and sold it off. But I don't think he would have done that.
Probably not. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of different ways that he could have, but WalftheWolf, I guess, never got the opportunity to kill off that. Yeah, because actually the Prospector ran over a whole bunch of the the Peacekeepers. That's right, I forgot about that. Maybe he'll get the same Miracle Crushes here, but at this point, Vindy's needs something just absolutely insane that most likely isn't going to happen. WalftheWolf just would have to, like, walk away from his computer at this point.
I think even then, WalftheWolf was probably somehow still managed to win the game.
Because
He's in such
Peacekeepers
a
just,
big
like,
lead.
micro themselves.
They do.
All right, so Vindies does have one refinery out on the water. He's still technically got hope, but there's the GG.
Yeah.
Not going to make us sit through that. So that's very nice of Vindies. Vindies is going to be dropping down 0-2 in this best of 5. And he just wasn't able to make it happen, but he's still got another chance. We may see a 3-0 happen, but for now, Vindies does still have a chance. Welcome to game number 3 of the finals, best of 5, between the guy who is down 0-2 in this series. In the bottom left corner, the yellow allied player, it is Mates Vindies.
And on the top of the map, we have, he's currently up 2-0 in his best of 5. It's Mates WalftheWolf as the red allies player.
Indeed, the split dual racks for WalftheWolf. While just the single racks for Vindies. So Wolf going for both of those oil derricks or something else?
Wolf will be going for both the oil derricks. That's the only reason that he would be going for the 2 dojos in opposite, the 2 barracks at the opposite side of the map. The thing that I'm expecting from Vindies is probably some Riptide play. Probably
he
Riptides.
Does like his Riptide play.
Yeah. Riptides possibly into a capture of both the oil derricks himself. Might be the way that he decides to do this, which is a very common thing that you see against Empire players. Actually, you see people go Riptides and just take over both the oil derricks after the initial capture from the other player. But this time he seems to be going for both of his refineries before, so Naval Yard is starting to become a little bit unlikely. But he does have an engineer in his main base.
Yep.
So probably will be now, actually.
Yeah, he's got that engineer. Now, the dog is coming in for WalftheWolf. He's trying to get an eye on what Vindies is doing. That engineer is getting pulled back, and fortunately for Vindies, he did grab one of the oil derricks, which of course means he gets that $500 cash back, and the engineer that he used to capture that oil derrick is paid for. So that is nice. I mean, if you end up building 2 engineers and you get no oil derricks or no cash back, then you're definitely not in a good situation.
The spy is out. Disguised as an engineer.
Wait, what?
The spy is an engineer.
That's a spy!
Yes, if you put the
hit
shift and the space bar and it shows you what unit it is,
No, I didn't realize there was 2 quote-unquote engineers out. Well, that explains why there's no Naval Yard, because he went tier 2 so quickly.
Yeah, War Factory is out. This is actually something that I was hesitant to say at the start of the game. This is something that we're going to see from Vindies.
Wow, WalftheWolf.
This is exactly what we see, yeah. Spies in an IFE pick off peacekeepers, pick off any infantry apart from commandos in one shot, which is ridiculously powerful.
Oh man, this combo.
Oh, I thought he was going to split off and try to kill that spy there, but unfortunately didn't manage to get the
that would have been a nice
off.
move. If he would have actually gotten that spy, because spies are pretty expensive.
He might have lost the Vindicator in the process, so the thing is, if he did, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. It would be technically a worse exchange economically, but he doesn't have a barracks to rebuild that spy. You have to think of that as well.
Vindies does have to be careful. I love the inclusion of using this extra Peacekeeper inside of an IFV. This combo is so incredibly powerful. On top of that, there's actually 4 IFVs here, so he can deal with a couple of these different... Man, the micro from Vindies is spot on. He can deal with a couple of different Vindicators. So these Vindicators have to be very careful.
But I feel like the placement wasn't the best. He got a little bit lucky there, I feel. If Vindies kept on moving, he kept on running forward, he could have actually got into the main base of WalftheWolf there and done a lot of damage, but he decided to stop. And the turret got placed down and forced him back, which didn't end up working out in his favour. WalftheWolf placing down a war factory of his own. So he will probably go for some tanks, I'm assuming.
Given how much the economic advantage that WalftheWolf has right now, how much damage do you think Vindies has to do to overcome this? Because he's he's 1 refinery down, and he does clean up 1 oil derrick, but Wolf has had the other oil derrick for a long time. He's got that 3 refinery. What kind of damage does Vindy has to do?
Well, Vindies, he does need to do a lot of damage, but he is actually building cryocopters, and you must have seen this before, this strategy where you build a lot. Oh, but he didn't manage. He lost the engineer IFV. If you shrink down,
no, he didn't. He's got the engineer IFV. He lost the spy.
Oh right, yeah. Disguise is the same thing. It's easy to get confused. But the thing is, if you shrink down opponents' units with cryocopters, Peacekeeper IFVs do a crazy amount of damage to them. This is a strategy that I'm pretty sure Lichter popularized, and you've seen quite a bit. But The army of Vindies, sorry, is just it's just not doing the damage it needs to do right now. And as you said before, he is down a refinery, so he needs to get the damage done. He just doesn't seem to do it there. IFVs are the perfect counter to this right now, taking down the cryocopters, and then what are the IFVs going to do on their own?
And WalftheWolf actually just cleaned up the engineer IFV, so
yeah. This is the last hope for Vindies to win this tournament, and it might just be game over right now. He needs to have some major change in his play, and he can't just continue with this play because he's down in refinery, he's down in army size. What's he gonna do?
Okay, so the IFV does indeed survive. The cryocopters are here, and there's actually a couple of IFVs from WalftheWolf, but he's not able to clean up both of the cryocopters. One Peacekeeper does still remain. Now, Vindies was able to do some damage, but again, I'm just curious as to if it actually is enough.
Yeah, one Harvester does go down for WalftheWolf. He just lost an Apollo. Yeah. He only has one unit on the map. It has one cryocopter, and on its own, the cryocopter is useless.
Yep.
Apollo in his base, IFVs in his base. Oh. Only thing is an airfield that he has.
And he built another cryocopter.
And that is game he's selling out. Oh wait, is he going for a spy?
I mean, if he went for a spy, he does drop down the GG.
Yeah.
That was one of those strats, as Vindy says in the chat, it was really bad, but it had the potential to be so good.
It's a very, very micro-intensive build. It can pay off very well. It can potentially be ridiculously cost-effective, and that is why you can get away with only being on 2 refineries versus someone who has like 3 or 4.
But you have to do that damage. You
have to do the damage, yeah, and if you don't do the damage, you're just going to fall behind, and that's exactly what we saw. So, WalftheWolf 3-0'd Vindies and actually manages to take the win of this tournament.
Yep, and as we can see over the course of that 5-minute game, WalftheWolf was climbing 5,000 credits ahead. 1,000 credits a minute. So, I mean, Vindies effectively has to do roughly 5k worth of damage to WalftheWolf to really make that worth it. And I mean, maybe that means shutting down one of the refineries completely, resetting WalftheWolf to that 2 refinery, and clearing out the oil derricks, but yeah, unfortunately, Vindy's not able to make it happen. Alright, that'll pretty much be doing it for the win. 28 has now wrapped. We have our champion, WalftheWolf, will be taking it 3-0, as GBHMichael already mentioned. GBHMichael, any final thoughts and or shoutouts?
Final thoughts? Well, I think the main thing to mention is people have been having a lot of problems with the server, and I have posted a fix to the players having connection problems to each other on the Game Replays site and also on the Revora support forum. So check them out if you have been having any connection problems. As you've seen in the tournament, connection problems do still exist, but this will help. It'll make a big difference, and you'll probably be able to play a lot more games, a lot more people than you used to be able to. So there's that, and also check out my stream. I do stream every once in a while. Probably won't be doing it for a little while because of a little bit of a connection issue upload-wise. So yeah, make sure to check out my stream. It's www.twitch.tv/GBHMichael. Make sure to follow that and have a look at that later. And yeah, enjoy Red Alert 3.
Indeed. Of course, another big congratulations to WalftheWolf. Vindies, he takes seconds. He took down some interesting opponents throughout this tournament as well. Not a huge turnout, but a fun tournament for sure. WalftheWolf will be taking home $25. And for GBHMichael and, of course, GameReplays.org, the host of this event, I'm Sybert, signing out.